Oh, I love this time of day, and I'm not even cooking dinner. I'm actually cooking tomorrow's lunch. You know how, don't you? Yeah, with the Shuttle chef. But it is late in the day, so cheers. Oh boy. Can you imagine telling the tax man that that's an essential prop of every cooking segment you've ever done? Yeah. And the 8 pallets worth that you did until you got the cooking bit right. Okay, here we go. Pretty easy. This is a basic, very, very basic chili beef. And you can do a chili beef, you know, pretty much your way, any way you want to do it. This is one way I do it, and it works really good, and it's easy, but you can substitute lots of things. And because tomorrow lunchtime my kids are going to be with me, I'll probably make it a bit kid friendly, go a little bit light on the chili. They don't mind hot food, they've had to put up with Dad's tucker for too long not to, but so it just starts out pretty simple. I'm frying up some onions. I'm going to whack in just a little bit of garlic. That's probably a lot. That's all right. More the better. Bit like beer. Okay, I'll give that a good stir. And about now, I'm going to put in the beef. I bought that, I got my butcher to cube it all up before I left on the trip. I didn't even bother getting it vacuum packed this time because, you know, sitting in the angle, it only needed to be, what are we, 3 days out? Not an issue, not a problem. Beautiful. Okay, get the beef cooking. These are big chunks of beef. He's a lazy butcher, but that's all right, because after it's sat in the Shuttle chef overnight, it'll be that tender that it'll just kind of pull apart. At this stage, I'm going to go a little bit heavy on the oyster sauce, mostly because that's the last I'm going to get out of this bottle, so there you go. Now, trick for new players, beer in anything is really good, works really well, except me, then I stop working. There we go. Okay, cool. I'll give that to you, Blue. Will you look after it for me? Okay, just don't take it away. Good boy. All I want to do here is get this beef browned up and the onions looking a bit on the golden side, which with this thing isn't going to take long at all. I don't know where this Gladiator thing was all my life. Well, it's probably sitting on a shelf down at BCF, but wow, you know, all these little camping things over the years, I've had most of them, I've wrecked nearly all of them. They just didn't pump any heat. I like my big Chinese gas rings and stuff like that until I got this, and you can see I've caned it mercilessly, cooked for heaps of people. It's all, you know, grotty and scratched, everything else still works perfectly. I love it. Funny, isn't it? You know, these things come from the same country that build Jeeps. Okay, so here we go. We've got onions, we've got garlic, we've got oyster sauce, we've got some beef. We've got most of the good stuff in there already. Now we're going to add some chili. Like I said, I'm keeping this one reasonably kid friendly, so I won't go berserk. You're saying what's berserk? Well, it's about half that tube, but it's only mild. It's only the mild stuff. So it doesn't really, it's not going to do too much, just kick it into life a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Now that beef has just about started to brown up. And what I've got here is, what is this? Oh, diced tomatoes. This one says oregano and basil. I'm not sure if I believe that or not, it probably does taste different. You want to try that too, Blue? No? You're not a vegetarian dog? Oh, this one's a different brand, just says diced tomatoes. There you go. By now you're starting to think that my family gets to eat whatever I find in the back of Milo. You'd be pretty right. You know what? They don't mind either. What do you got, mate? Well, bring it back, we'll eat it. Hey? Whoa. This is tomato paste going in because I've got it and because it'll add lots of lovely tomato flavour. Basically the 2 tins of diced tomato and the tomato paste and all the juices that come out of the meat and the veggies that I'm going to add in a minute, that's the moisture in this dish. Okay, next thing, potatoes that I've prepared earlier, and I didn't bother peeling them or any of that namby-pamby stuff, you know. Buy the washed ones, chop them up. The peel's really good for you. Try telling that to Granny just after she choked on it, but look, it's good for you. It's where all the goodness is. And once again, everything that was in the fridge, which in this case was snow peas and normal beans. You could have used peas, could have used broccoli, could have used anything that was green except my truck pretty much. That'd take too long to soften up. And it's really just to give it a bit of flavour balance and a bit of colour balance too. Okay, now I'm looking at the liquid in here. Liquid level, meh, not quite. Yeah, you're right, that's a waste. That is not a waste. I'll just take the tomato paste off that. Give this a bit of a stir. And at this stage, I'm going to be giving it like its final taste, just to check it out, see what see what it might just need. Some people, they cook a whole recipe without tasting it, you know. Well, that's a bit like putting an engine back together without seeing if things move each step of the way. You can get to the end and the whole thing's seized up and terrible. You don't want to be doing that. Cooking's not rocket science. Well, as you'd expect, it's very tomatoey. I'm going to add a little bit of honey, just a bit. There we go, that's about a tablespoon. Why? It's hard to go wrong. A little bit of sweet about now, just about perfect. I'm also going to find some chilli over there in my pan. Why? Because it needs a little bit more. There's not enough strength in that. The kids will forgive me. I'll get them a tub of yogurt or ice cream or something. Hang on a minute, don't go away. See, you look long enough in the back of Milo, guaranteed to find 2 things, garlic and chilli. Just a little sprinkle. Oh, and a little more, one more for Dad. And I've added a bit of honey, but it's just a little bit short on salt. And you normally find Vegetar, this stock powder, in the back of Milo too. Look at this one, it's travelled a bit. Thing about Vegetar is, I don't know what they make it out of, it's fantastic stuff. You use it for beef rubs, all sorts of cooking, you know, and it's very salty. So I'm just going to bung a little bit in. How much? Not much, about that much. It's a big pot, but it doesn't need much. It's very strong flavour. It would make an awesome salt for chips, I reckon. I've never tried that, but I will give it a go. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's very similar to chicken salt in flavour. Now, if you're not like me and you're just cooking dinner for tonight, all you do now is put the lid on, turn it down to simmer, you know, waste about an hour's worth of gas or something, or have it on the edge of the fire, whatever you're doing, and dinner would be just about perfect. I'm lucky, I can get this up and boiling, get the lid on, whack it in here, serve it tomorrow lunch. But let's just find out if it's edible first. Oh wow. Yeah. Yep. very much so. Just needs for everything to cook now. Be fantastic. So, with that in mind, the lid on, let it heat up, pop it in the pot, it'll be just about right. What am I going to do until then? Get out there. Oh well, it didn't make it to lunch by the look of things, did it, eh? Caught out. Yep, you've just got to love your shuttle, chef, I tell you what. I couldn't resist it. Breakfast, and it's beautiful. The flavours infused through everything. The meat is so nice and soft. Oh, just perfect.